So Conor McGregor might be going to jail. Right now, he's being accused of SAing a girl. Of course, this is not the first time he's been accused of this. Conor McGregor actually had to show up to court the other day in Ireland to go fight this case. And for all of us that were wondering why Conor McGregor didn't end up fighting this year, well, it's all starting to make sense now. And shout out to Ariel Helwani for doing a deep dive on the McGregor case. Him and McGregor are friends, so I was actually surprised that Ariel even addressed this.
Yesterday, there was also some massive news regarding one of the biggest stars in the sport, Conor McGregor. His lawsuit, as he's facing a civil lawsuit, his trial had kicked off at Dublin's High Court on Tuesday. And this is a story that has been brewing for quite some time, and it finally kicked off, and wanted to see how day one played out. Day one has played out, and day two in the books as well. I want to read the...
You see Conor McGregor's face there. He doesn't look all that happy. He kind of looks disappointed with himself right here. You see it. He's with his dad. He's with his lawyer. Again, going through the same situation with the legal process. You know, this is not McGregor's first rodeo in the United States and in Ireland having legal issues. Just like 6 months ago, he was walking to court to go fight some traffic law that he violated over there in Ireland. So this is not anything new for Conor McGregor. He's actually indeed very used to dealing with legal issues. Not only does McGregor look disappointed, he does look a little bit worried as well.
Conor McGregor was present at Dublin's High Court on Tuesday to face a civil lawsuit pertaining to a that is alleged to have happened in December 2018. Nikita Hand, 35, claims that she was by McGregor and another man, James Lawrence, in a penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel, Dublin, and is claiming civil damages from both McGregor and Lawrence.
So again, this isn't the first time he was accused of this. I'm not saying he's guilty. Obviously, he's innocent until proven guilty. But this happened at the Miami Heat game, and this also happened... I forgot where, Marabella or some shit. I remember he had some legal issues as well. And it was the same thing. It was a girl accusing him of SAing her. And again, guys, McGregor was supposed to be fighting like November or December. We're in November right now. And this is exactly why the fight probably didn't end up happening between him and Michael Chandler, is because of McGregor's legal issues.
Lawrence have both denied the accusations, and the former UFC champion's lawyers say Hand is attempting extortion. The trial began on Tuesday. As members of the jury were sworn in, Justice Alexander Owens told jurors that it is alleged that the man had, quote, in effect, end quote. Justice Owens also clarified that it is not a criminal...
I had to censor some of this video, so he's getting accused of R-wording her, pretty much.
Criminal case, but a civil case, meaning that if it is determined the assault happened, it is a civil wrong, and therefore the plaintiff is entitled to compensation. John Gordon, senior counsel for Hand, said Tuesday that his client knew McGregor as she is from the same area and is in the same age group and shares mutual friends with the UFC fighter. The court was told that McGregor collected Hand, a hairdresser, and a friend from their place of work on December 9th following a Christmas party. Hand understood that they were going to another party. They later went to the home of Lawrence, who joined them in the car. In the back of the car, Hand alleged that McGregor shared a bag of cocaine with her and her friend.
I mean, man, I hope this isn't true. I hope all of this are lies. She's accusing Conor of doing cocaine with her. We know there's a lot of rumors about Conor McGregor's drug use, specifically with... If this is true, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Conor's worth $200 million. He has more money than he knows what to do with. Why is he doing this if this is true? Again, innocent until proven guilty. But why is he doing this? It does sound like, by the way, this is a civil case. So worst case scenario, Conor ends up having to pay a lot of money. I don't know how much money she's suing him for, but this isn't legal. So if he is found guilty, he won't be arrested and put in prison, but it does ruin his reputation. And he's going to have to pay out a lot of money.
McGregor, Lawrence, Hand, and her friend, McGregor's security team, and others went to a penthouse suite at the Beacon Hotel. Hand told the court that the group had been drinking and laughing. At one point, Hand claims that McGregor told her to, quote, suck on that, end quote, as she was walking by a bathroom he was using. Later, Hand recalled being alone in a bedroom with McGregor, where she alleges she stopped him as he tried to make advances on her. Hand also claimed that she was on her period at the time of the alleged assault. Quote, I said, no, I don't feel comfortable. I know of Dee. I know of her family. Hand said, referring to McGregor's longtime fiancée, Dee Devlin. Later, Gordon told the court that his client, Hand, alleged she was, quote, completely unable to push McGregor off. He said jurors will see, quote, pictures of her hands and wrists, which are black and blue. You will see that her left breast also has a bloodied scratch. The scratch is there because she was wearing a watch and had her hands up to protect herself. She was pressed down, and the watch scarred her breast. There is much more about the details on uncrowned.com. You can read it right now. It's up on the website. Day 2 in the books as well. PT is in Dublin. This is obviously a huge story. What, if anything, can you tell us about Day 2, PT?
Yeah, so as of right now, I will say it's not looking good for Conor. It's really not. Him having a history of being accused of this does not look good. I hope it's all lies. I hope she's making this up. I hope she's trying to extort him like McGregor's lawyers are saying. I hope she just wants some money and Conor didn't actually do this. Because if he did, I think he's going to ruin everything. He's going to ruin everything he has going on. I'll be surprised if we see him fight again. But those are the least of his concerns if this is true. If he does lose this case, those are the least of his concerns. I think he's going to lose a lot of sponsorships. McGregor's a businessman. He does business with a lot of different companies, and being accused of this and being found guilty in the eyes of the law or the court system, since this is a civil matter, sponsorships will pull out. Sponsorships aren't just going to be cool with this. Not to mention, McGregor is going to ruin his reputation with his female fans and just male fans in general. I mean, it's some sick shit if this is true. It's pretty sick. And again, I guess, props to Ariel Helwani for being a real journalist. And even though Conor has blessed him with a lot of interviews throughout his career, some of his biggest interviews are with Conor. Ariel's not holding back here. He's deciding to cover it. This is Ariel Helwani's new show. It's no longer the MMA Hour. It's the Ariel Helwani Show, which you can see in the corner up there. And he's deciding to push the publish button on this video. I mean, Ariel is essentially the boss over there. He has the last word of what's going on his channel, I would think. That's the whole reason why he left the MMA Hour, so he can own his content and be in control of the content. And he's deciding to publish this. And I know Conor will see this as well. Conor's very tapped into what's happening on social media. So potentially Ariel is ruining that friendship, that relationship that he's built over the years with Conor McGregor.
Today, Hand continued her testimony. Yesterday they finished at 4 as she was just getting into the alleged assault. She was describing the encounter that happened. Again, she went into detail on that today. After that, we went through a lot of communications that Hand had with her friends. They were shown to the court. After lunch, there was a lot of CCTV shown, basically McGregor's movements, Hand's movements, Lawrence's movements, all throughout the day. She was later cross-examined by one of McGregor's counsel, and the main crux of what they were saying before, it was adjourned for the day. It will be seated again tomorrow. I believe it will start around 10 a.m. or so, Irish time. But towards the end of the cross-examination, McGregor's counsel was taking Hand back to some testimony she made earlier in the day, stating that initially she didn't tell her partner what had happened. She was frazzled after the ordeal. She can't remember a lot of what happened afterwards, the encounter that she references with McGregor. And basically, she said she hadn't told her partner what had happened. The counsel.
So, of course, Conor McGregor can't afford the best lawyers that money can buy, and it sounds like they're doing everything in their power to make this girl, whoever this girl is, who's accusing Conor, to make her be the villain, essentially, make her be the person who is trying to financially gain out of a situation that was consensual. At least that's what Conor McGregor's lawyers are saying here. And that's their job. They're going to, again, paint this girl to be some money-hungry girl who's lying, who just wants Conor's money. And that certainly could be the case. That certainly could be it. Of course, Conor McGregor is a target for all types of different lawsuits. Or, and I know a lot of people may not like this, or where there's smoke, there's fire. This isn't the first time he's been accused of this. maybe the girl isn't lying. Maybe the girl is telling the truth. I mean, we know Conor McGregor isn't loyal to Dee Delvin. I mean, we actually have video footage in 4K of him essentially cheating on her in front of her. So, you know, I know a lot of people in the comment section of this video are going to side with Conor. I get that. I understand that. Of course, innocent until proven guilty. I'll keep saying that. But there is a chance that this woman isn't lying. This woman is telling the truth. So it is a bit sticky. It's a sticky situation. And I guess we'll just have to wait until the lawyers, the judge, and I don't know how they do it in Dublin, the jurors. I know that's how we do it here in the States. I don't know how they do it, their legal system. It may be similar, it may be different, but we'll just have to wait, be patient, and figure out what they ultimately determine, if Conor will have to pay out this money or maybe he's proven innocent.
So we're saying, well, you've lied here. It seems as though they're trying to, underline the fact that she hadn't been truthful with her partner. A lot still here to play out. Again, McGregor and Lawrence deny all accusations that Hand is putting to them. And again, this is a civil court. There will be no criminal sanctions handed down, regardless of the verdict. Hand also outlined that she was let down by the DPP, which is...
So I do wonder why this is happening civilly and not legally. Because worst case scenario, if you're Conor McGregor, you kind of get a slap on the wrist. Like literally, you pay a couple $1 million to this woman, whatever it is, $1, $2, $3 million for Conor. That's nothing. That's literally like $10 for me or for you watching this video. He has so much money. A couple million is nothing. Criminally, I think Conor would be a bit more afraid, and it's less of a slap on the wrist if they were charging him criminally. But there was probably, if I'm going to assume, there was probably a lack of evidence. Something where she didn't want to do it criminally. You could say maybe because she wants the money. I get that, but there was probably a lack of evidence or something as to why this is happening civilly and not legally.
Director of Public Prosecutions, you'll remember a New York Times article in 2019, Ariel kind of saying the DPP were investigating this. She said she was let down by it. They said they didn't have sufficient evidence to prosecute at the time. That is why we are at this point pursuing civil damages as opposed to criminal damages.
I completely understand that you're not, you're not a lawyer. This isn't your usual beat. But how long do we expect this to last?
Up to 2 weeks, I believe. I think there is some hope that it will, be dealt with swifter than that. There's a lot of testimony to be said. It's very meticulous.
As you're watching this video, this is probably happening as well. Conor may be in court, or he's just got done with court, depending on when you're watching this. But as you can see, if it'll focus in there. It might not focus, but it's Thursday, November 7th, 1:52. That's West Coast time. So yeah, I did see tweets, Conor going to court today, and it sounds like it's going to last about 2 weeks long.
And have they said what kind of damages they're seeking? What is at stake here for McGregor?
Counsel for Hand at the beginning referenced that $1 million in damages. I don't know the exact number. It has not been said much beyond that, but that was the initial claim from Hand's counsel, I believe, when they were basically saying that McGregor's lawyers feel this is all an extortion. They're trying to extort $1 million out of him for this. He also said, they think she's a gold digger, things like this at the very beginning of proceedings on Tuesday.
Of course, again, those are his lawyers' jobs, to paint this woman to be a gold digger, paint this woman to be a liar. That is exactly what Conor is paying them to do. What's very interesting is $1 million seems kind of light, to be honest. It doesn't seem like a lot of money. I'm surprised Conor honestly doesn't give her the $1 million, and he probably would if it didn't ruin his reputation, because you give her the $1 million, it does look like you're guilty. But I think $1 million to Conor, like I said, it's like $10 to us. $1 million is not a lot of money to Conor. Even outside of the UFC, he's probably making over $1 million a month.
How is it being covered in Ireland? What is the mood, what's the temperature from the media and also from the public?
I have just been blown up constantly since it started. It's all over all of the newspapers. It's been on 6 o'clock news. It's regular radio bulletins.
I'm surprised there's not cameras in the courtroom if this was happening in the United States, because we know the United States, they love to make content out of everything. This would 100% would have been on the news, live streamed on YouTube. There'd be cameras all over in Conor's face. Conor was already in the United States legal system when he threw the dolly at Khabib's bus and when he smashed that guy's phone in Miami. So we have footage of Conor McGregor going to court, being in court. I wish we could have that for this situation right now.
It is big news here. It will be no surprise to anyone who's listening to this show that, McGregor is one of the most famous Irish people ever at this point.
Yeah.
And a situation like this is going to be massive.
And he hasn't said anything, right? Like there's no sound of him walking out, and sometimes they'll speak to the media. He hasn't said it. I've seen the photos and the videos of him walking in and out, but I haven't seen any comment from him or his team.
No, I think we will hear his side of things as things progress here. The only claims, the only people who have spoke to their side of things so far is Hans counsel. So it will be disingenuous for me to say this is what they think, this is what they see the situation as.
All right. Well, appreciate that.
Okay, so it looks like Conor McGregor isn't going to jail. That's for sure. This is a civil case. There's no way he's going to get arrested. So I'm going to have to clickbait you. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have to clickbait you. But he will end up probably paying $1 million. I guess that's what this guy's saying, $1 million. I think it should be more if he's found guilty. If she's lying, I think he should be able to sue her for $1 million, It's unfortunate that this is happening again. We would have probably saw Conor McGregor fight if this was not going on right now. A lot of us wanted to see Conor versus Michael Chandler. Now Chandler's fighting Oliveira, UFC 309. I mean, he's fighting in 9 days. And Conor McGregor is dealing with this. But guys, if you do want to stay updated with what's going on in this case, make sure you're subscribed right here to the MMA Connect. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. If you are new to the channel, again, also subscribe here. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure to leave a like on the video. I really appreciate that. And YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this video next.